Next on our list of things to cover is the calendar, how you can access it, and what shows up both on your class calendars and shared calendars in the workload planning document. So let's begin. We're on the homepage, and again, if you ever need to get to that quickly, you can always click on the Divine Child icon. Mine takes me to my course dashboard. You can easily also have it set to go to recent activity. Regardless, on the right-hand side, you're going to see all of the list of upcoming events, assignments, assessments, and discussion boards. That's going to be under your upcoming list. If you have anything that needs to be graded, it will appear above this in the web browser. And let's just focus on some of these icons. So, first up, we have a calendar event. This will show on the section that you have. The next icon, this little page with a pencil, is an assignment. The next one is a test or a quiz. Another assignment, another calendar event, and this last bit, which is new to Schoology for us this year, is an assessment. And we'll get into the difference between what's the difference between a test and a quiz and assessment in a later video. If you want to see your calendar in a more calendar view, you have two options. You can either click this calendar link, or in the upper tab, you can see something that looks like a monthly calendar. Click on either of those to see your calendar list. And since everything is due in August, I'll jump to August there. So by default, you are left with your all calendars in a monthly view, but you can also switch it to a week or a day view. Likewise, all of the classes, the current classes, clubs or groups that you're with are listed on your calendar. Now, if you want to differentiate those on your Schoology calendar, simply go to the color icon. So if I wanted to change the color from my calendar to, let's say, an orange color, I could. If I see my sample course and I don't like blue, maybe I want yellow, it will sync there. If you want to have further access to your calendar, in the upper right-hand corner, you can go up to your name, you can go to settings, and then you can go to share your Schoology calendar. So if you want it to show up in your Google Calendar or in your calendar app on your iPad or computer, simply click the enable button, then take this WebCal link and then insert it into your calendar application of choice. If we go to a specific course, so in this case, we'll show both my sample course and my summer bridge course to show you the difference. So in our sample course, we have the same calendar events that we see. These are all listed. And this is to the point that it's important that when you create anything, that you assign a date to it. So when we have our assignment, let's say we wanted to create a new assignment for people to work on, we'll go to add assignment. When you create your assignment, that under due date, that you assign a specific due date to that assignment. That way it will show not only on your calendar and your student's calendar, but on this option on the right-hand side, which is called the Workload Planning Calendar. So as you can see, this Workload Planning Calendar shows me all of the students that are currently enrolled in my sample class, and then their workload that they have for that given week. Now on the surface, because this is a summer class, it's not showing any overlap. But if I go to a week that we might be more familiar with, this is looking at April 20 to April 26th of our fourth quarter last semester. You can see that my AP Statistics course for Section 2, I can see all of the assignments that my students have across their courses. So I can see that someone like Brooke has 6 assignments due that Monday. And if I want to actually see what those assignments are, I can click on that and see what exactly each teacher is assigning. And that's why it's important that we add our assignments, our tests and quizzes, and our discussion boards. Anything that's graded has a date on it so that shared students among teachers, we can plan our calendars accordingly. Now we can see that the threshold right here is 1 or more items, but if you think that you only want to filter this, that you have to worry about massive overload of students, we can sort it to whatever more items, and you can see as I say 5 or more items, I only have 4 students here on a Friday that have 5 or more items due, and I can see that Molly's got 7 different assignments due. 4 from government, 2 from Theo, and 1 from physics. So it gives me a view of if I want to plan out my course, or if I'm picking a day for a test, this workload planning document allows me to assess what type of work a student has to do on a given week to better plan. In comparison, if we switch over to my math summer bridge course, I can see that although it's organized slightly differently, if I switch to just seeing all the tests, I have over 30 assignments that are posted. Yet none of these are showing in the upcoming events, nor are my students seeing them in their Schoology calendar. If I was sharing teaching responsibilities with another teacher, I also don't have anything that's populating our workload planning calendar. That's why it's so important that when you create an assignment, test and quiz, a Schoology link, an Edpuzzle video, that it includes a date so that everyone that has that student can see what they are doing on a given day on Schoology. If we're looking for a fast way to add dates to previously created material, or if you're importing a course from a previous semester, we can go to the gradebook and go to bulk edit. And now this gives us access to the naming convention if we need to change or update those, the due dates for all of our assignments that are in our course currently, and the grading period if we need to update that. This gives us a fast way to ensure that all of the assignments, tests and quizzes, assessments, discussion boards have a category, have a value, and have a due date and a grading period. The last concept about the calendar that I want to highlight is many of you maybe have experience of adding an event that will show up on your student's calendar but will not show up on the workload planning calendar. So if you see upcoming in the calendar, you can click add event. Likewise, if you're in updates, you can also see this exact same post. We click add event. It will give you a date, so we can say July 31st. You can say start time, end time. This is where you would type in your sample course, event for school year. And by typing this in, this allows you to say initial Zoom meeting. I also have options to attach a file, so either from a computer, or if you're using your iPad, it would ask you from either files or your photo library. If you want to attach a link, this is where you do that here. If you want to attach something from resources to your event, select this and it'll take you to resources from Schoology. Or if you want to record an audio or video to go to your event, this is where you would place this. And in fact, this type of setting is available on almost everything we post on Schoology. Once you hit save, that will show up in your upcoming events. It will have a little calendar icon. If I go to the calendar itself, I will also see that it's on my calendar. If I'm syncing them across multiple devices, it will show up here across all of those devices. Your students will see it, but it will not appear on the workload planning calendar. So if I go to the workload planning calendar, I see that there's nothing due, nothing graded on July 31st, even though I know I just put in a calendar event. So we're reserving these calendar events for announcements or reminders for our students. I would highly suggest you use these to post your Zoom meetings for your courses, especially if we're online, but do not utilize these to post assignments or assessments or tests. What we want to do when we're creating assignments, we want to go to add materials, add an assignment, give it a due date. If we're creating a test or a quiz, we'll either add test or quiz or add an assessment. Likewise, if we're adding a discussion, that's where we're going to post all of those with a grading category and a due date. Students will be able to differentiate them, and they will show up on our shared workload planning calendar.